Darius, so, Meta arguably has, more communities than any other social media environment. So I'm sure you're very well versed in those kinds of behaviors, but are you seeing that kind of translate into worlds like Horizon, or even in the way users are using Quest? What are some of the trends that you're seeing there?
And also, many great things have been said. I took some notes. I want to reflect on them as well.
Yes.
So, yes, we have a 3.7 billion people on our platforms active. And we expect Metaverse to reach 1 billion people by 2030. So that's pretty close, actually, 7 years from now. And that's a bold vision. That's what the trends are saying. And I want to say a few things before maybe I come to that. First thing is technology offers opportunities, but also a divide. And because you mentioned inclusion point, like how do we make it accessible to everyone? And because you use technology, you go multiple times faster, you don't use, you stay behind, right? And imagine somebody who was born in a village in Turkey 30 years ago versus somebody who's born in Silicon Valley. There's a big divide at that time, but today, everyone with a computer and an internet has much more accession to opportunities. So that's the democratization effect of technology, and that inclusion is important. And one of the things, one of our core values building the metaverse is how do we make it inclusive, devices accessible. That's why we have 2 layers of devices, like accessible to everyone and pro. And how do we enable accession from different surfaces? So you don't only have to have the headsets, but also you can access it from your mobile phone. And whatever we do, connectivity and internet speed is going to be critical for everyone to access it. And that's why we are laying cables, subsea cable, for example, Africa, connecting Africa to Middle East and Europe to empower 300 million people to access the internet. So I think those components need to get there. So every layer, think about this as a new internet. So every layer from content creation to platforms to both connectivity infrastructure and device infrastructure and the enablers such as payment services, et cetera, that needs to come together. And the reason why it's going to take at least 5 to 10 more years is that we are waiting semiconductors and processors to get there. We are waiting for optics technology to get, or haptics technology to get there. And there are like many pieces, moving in different speeds, and that's going to be valuable to start thinking about these things from now. So we built this research fund. We put $50 million to explore what could be the risks of the metaverse and how can we avoid them together with the industry, because it's going to enable many opportunities. It's not only the business, it's a huge business opportunity, because whatever we do today in internet, we sell physical goods, we buy physical goods, but then creators will be able to create the digital copies of everything we buy and sell. That's a massive new economy. And then the digital asset ownership becomes important, NFTs become important, but then we have a sustainability story. And in order to make it sustainable, it has to be interoperable. That's what we are pushing for, to build it in an interoperable way. So it's very complex, and it requires a lot of discussion and collaboration in the industry. But I never believe that it's going to change the physical experiences we have. I will always enjoy talking to my mom and being with my family physically together. But when we cannot be physically together, instead of sending them a letter, as in the past days, or SMSing them, we can be together in a hologram format, as if like we are sitting next to each other. So it's really enhancing the physical, the digital interactions, and more making them close to real, instead of replacing the physical interactions. So those are a few thoughts that I wanted to add to everyone.
Yeah, no, and I love that, and I think that's right. I think it's not a replacement for, it's sort of both. It's an all, more is more.